Greetings and welcome to my channel. My name is Ignatius and let's watch myself play the Crust, or rather the early access to the Crust. One thing about usually when you choose to do a sandbox game, you then get the menu, choose all kinds of things, but in this one you just start the game. Kind of like the elegance of that. Although we'll see if that's still in place when the early access is finished. You start with 3 cargo pods. One will contain some material, the other 2 will contain a lot of drones, depending on how much aid you accept from... Whoa! This is the first time I listened to this through a headset. That was some meaty sound right there. The first thing I always do is to place a couple of to place power. This is about the 4th or 5th time I started playing this. Just to get some experience, at least in the early games. Then I do this kind of chain connection for power, and connect that into the lift to downstairs. Then of course batteries and solar panels. Whoa, this sounds cool. This sounds really cool. Batteries and solar panels need of course be built first. Then comes some research, starting of course with regolith pressing. That's going to give me concrete. Okay, we've got power and the battery should start charging really soon. Now the battery is beginning to charge. Perfection. One tip, keep your battery big. Keep your battery bigger than you think about. I would say keep your battery at least twice as big as you think you need it, because as you expand your factory downstairs, your energy needs are going to rise very quickly. Here I'm looking at a position where to build this drone reconfiguration module in a way that it makes at least a little bit of aesthetic sense. But then I go with the default solution and just build it on top. Also, this
Director, I consider it my duty to remind you that lunar all available research is grouped into 3 main directions.
I know. I've listened to this several times. If you want to read this text, of course, as this is a YouTube video, you can pause. Here I'm just lining up the researches in the order in which I think they're the most usable, and this is the only drone reconfiguration thingy that I'm going to go with for some time. I've played now I think 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something of that sort, and this is still, I only have 5 digging drones and I don't need any more. I mean, right now my factory is fully automated where all the base resources are concerned, and therefore drones digging are not necessary anymore. Here I'm placing the regolith pressing module. I'm also thinking about where to place it exactly. Meaning I want a storage in front of it, and of course one after it. Sorry for yawning. It's the same as always. And one after it, so that my drones will have the least possible amount of work. Here I do this for no particular reason different than I just want this to be halfway squared. This is aesthetics. Then of course I need to hook up the power. I also pause this just to have the necessary time to place everything. And as we can see here, it's a good thing that I paused, because there is a better place for me to place this power pylon, or whatever these things are called. Utility pole. These are the side poles, and that's the front pole, kind of. I think I placed it somewhere here. And right click, left click to leave things to... it's a bit weird sometimes. If you just right click in the world, you open kind of a radial menu. You're going to see me do that multiple times. Which is kind of a little bit annoying, to be quite honest. Okay, here is the construction of the first charging station and some digging, and I think... yes? General storage. Did I build? Okay. I built it. It was, I think, the attempt 1 or 2 in the past that I didn't build this. I built this general storage, which also means that all the free drones will now start bringing stuff from upstairs to store it in here. Okay, there is the first drone charging itself, and at this point the game slows down. This game is kind of a burst game, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but this happens in bursts. You make something and then you wait for everything to be built, for resources to be gathered, all of that, which I personally like very much. I really like this game. It is very relaxing to play, but also at times it is not exactly relaxing. You will see I'm going to have some battles with energy early on, because the battery was not big enough this time.
Research complete.
But I will remedy this in the future episode. Let me rehydrate a little bit. Here you can see the drones picking stuff up and bringing it downstairs, which they did for a time, because this regolith picking up and all of that takes precedence, or is more important to at least some of them, and it will take quite a bit of time until the upper storage that was landed by landing craft is actually emptied down here. Right now, as you can see, I'm just waiting and seeing, and as you can see, there is quite a bit of material still left to be brought downstairs, and that will happen in time. Okay, further research. Let me pause here. You can see here daily income and 3 colors. These are: blue is fundamental, basically, yellow is engineering, or orange is engineering, and green is social. I say basically because this only holds true the strict separation in the first maybe 2 levels or so. Down here they will need all 3 different kinds of research. What I really like about this game is the fact that it goes from top to bottom, and in multicolor researches When one color is full, the game goes down to look for another research that can be filled with that color. So you will end up with something up there that's maybe half researched because the blue is already full and the yellow is still not yet full. It's still being filled. And the blue being is getting filled downstairs, down in another piece of research, if that made any sense at all. I hope it did. Yes, now comes the ore detector, and I think one of the first mistakes I did, because I think I did detect for ores, even though up here you can see the day-night cycle. Let me pause this. The day-night cycle, and essentially this is as if a spotlight were shining on the ground. You can see here it's day and over here it's night. It's really fairly simple. Also, the amount of solar energy you get is from here to here roughly at max, and from here to there it's going to begin to decline, and the incline is also from here to here. It's not just we have sunlight and boom, 100% solar power, but this also comes at an incline and a decline. That's something to keep in mind. You only have maybe a third of the day or so of full solar to really charge your batteries. So it is also good to have too much solar, or rather more than you think you need. The good thing is, solar and batteries are only using these three resources, the top three resources, which is concrete, steel and silicon. And those three are fairly easy to come by, so that you can essentially build huge fields of solar panels and batteries fairly quickly. I would advise not to, because first you want to build up the proper construction or production chains to actually make these things perpetually. Which is also why you have to kind of control your itch to really go forward. And here we can see, oh no, it's still full yellow. This one definitely isn't. I remember that. Not enough power, okay. We have a output. Let me pause that and let me make a small jump backwards. 1 second, I think it's that one. Yes. Let me wait, let us wait, and here. Output capacity. That's, with this size of battery, it's 10 per battery. And that is the max these batteries can output on power. Everything else, at least the parts that require power, need a certain amount of power. And if that in total exceeds the output capacity of the batteries, not everybody can receive power, even though there is still charge in the batteries. That is something else I really like about this game. It also helps to not drain your batteries in the first 14 minutes of night. They will hold even if you have too few batteries, that's the word. They will still hold and give energy, at least to those modules that are able to receive energy for some time within the night. If that makes any sense. You just have to deactivate some stuff downstairs to keep the rest powered. And here you can see 18 power, 15, and this right here, this was a significant error on my part, because here you can see every pulse requires instant power from batteries, and it even tells you here, helpfully, how much of your batteries you're going to decharge. And that is a fairly big chunk if your batteries are as small as mine are at this point in time, and this is going to cause me some issues towards the end of this night. This sounds cool. Here we have iron and something else, which here I notice. Now I make the second mistake. And send the second pulse. I mean, it's cool that we know that there is a third iron over here, but look at it, at my batteries. They were half full and now they're just a quarter. This was a quarter of my energy, and again, this is going to bite me in the ass.
Research complete.
As I notice now, I think at this point I was telling to myself that was not the wisest thing. Also +3, we're just about to, and 0, and there is still sunlight, as you can see here. Upstairs it's not fully dark. There is just, and my batteries are still making power. They're just at the moment making enough power to just power everybody. They got a little bit of a boost again. And here the batteries have begun to decharge a little bit. There is still light. The solar panels are still making power, but the batteries now are having to support the solar panels already. So this is important to keep in mind. At this point I had already deactivated the sensor, so just that it doesn't take any passive power. And I think this is a good place to actually end this episode. We've made the regolith press, we've made the first little bit of infrastructure. We looked around and saw that over there is a lot of iron, and we're going to run into power problems. This is a fantastic place to start the next episode. Until then, thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and other daily if you so choose, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.